What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Philip and welcome back to another toy review. This time, we are featuring Sodo Kamen Rider Revi Volcano Genome. Now, before we continue on with this video, I would like to remind everyone that this video is not for viewers under the age of 13 and we are not sponsored, so please be advised. So anyways, again, we have this figure, of course, and let's take a look at the packaging. So as always, Sodo will come into boxes, so to complete the whole set, you need to buy both. So this is number one, so the Volcano Genome body. So at the back, you can see it here. So the main body and the sticker set. So uh, this is set B. So you have the rest of the body, like the head, the arms, and the feet, and the other accessories. So that's gonna be your set B. So let's take a look at this lineup. So this is part of uh, Sodo Kamen Rider Revice 6. So this is lineup number 6. So if you notice, so this is Kamen Rider Saber Ultimate Bahamut that we have reviewed recently. And you can also see here part of this latest lineup is, of course, Kamen Rider Vice in his Barid Rex genome. So yeah, so I have actually decided to get this because so far Volcano Genome is personally my favorite power up so far. Much more so than Jack Revice, Thunder Gale Revice, and well, in general they're cool looking, but if I were to pick power up, let's say if I were Iki and I were to pick a power up that I would stick with for a long time, it would be this one. So yep, this is my personal favorite revised power up in form. Now there are some other genomes that I do like, which are basically like just ordinary revi in using again the other forms based on other writers, but collecting them would be too much of a hassle because number one, budget wise, it's gonna be expensive collecting a lot of them, and number two, so if I were going to collect more figures of Revi, at least go for the power up instead. So yeah, this is what I chose. So here you go. This is Revi. So anyways, let's go ahead and check out the articulation. So he can move his head up, down, actually a bit of a side to side here. So because it's on a ball joint, so you can freely move the head quite nicely. You can do a 360, but you're gonna have to go over these fins on the shoulder. Yeah, so be careful with that. Although the head is quite stable, so the arms, you have shoulder armor, but they can move quite nicely. So especially if you can position arm straight and like these fins go under the arm or under the shoulder armor like that, so you can get more than 90 degrees. And because of actually you can clearly see the hole where the arms are attached because it is that elongated hole, so you can actually move the arms, or you can kind of move the arms forward for more articulation. So the upper arm uh, joint, there's an upper arm joint here, so this allows you to turn the arms like so, and you can already see the elbow movement. It does uh, have quite a actually 90-degree angle, which is okay. So the hands are on a ball joint. Of course, they are removable. So this is easily removable. You can see that. So of course, they kind of turn, although you might hit these protrusions. Not so much, but yeah, you can actually turn the hand around comfortably. 360. So for the torso, you do get a joint that allows kind of very nicely, but the belt is in the way. Although the belt you can remove, but not necessarily. You don't have to do that. But without the belt, of course, it'll go 360. So for the legs, I still notice that they have this armor that's quite high. I thought Bandai had resolved this issue, but I guess they were kind of inconsistent with that. So you can pull the legs down a little bit from the thigh joint, uh, which you probably could see underneath here. So you can see that gap. So I keep it there so that you can actually do this. So with that, you can move it quite forward. So the legs have this kind of nice bend, more than 90 degrees. So the feet are, of course, on that ball joint that you can kind of move around. So, of course, and you do have that, again, crease on the inside, which allows for more posability. So it does kind of get hampered by the back skirt armor, I guess, but it's not much of a deal for me. So one of the things that I have to point out while making this review is that, so of course you do have to put stickers on, right? So if you notice the leg stickers, right, say they do wrap around the legs. However, yours truly made the mistake of not making sure that, you know, the right stickers were in the right place. So basically, what I did was actually switched these parts. So one clearly goes around the left leg, one clearly goes around the right leg, and I just switcherooed them up. So that's why this happened. So if you can see, so there's supposed to be a hole in there, well, not really used for attaching everything. So yeah, you can see that. I hope it's kind of focusing. Uh, but anyways, so you're supposed to leave a hole open there. So because of how I placed the sticker, yeah, that's on me. So my bad. But overall, with that mistake aside, I mean, it looks okay. Now, there are a few parts that I should also point out. So, because the hands and feet actually come in runners, yeah, it's kind of like a plastic. mm, Soda is becoming more of a plastic model nowadays. So, because they're painted, so you will see the nub marks kind of in a different color. I think the base plastic for the hands is actually black. Because if you pull out, actually, let me use the other spare hand. So you can see here. So the ball joint is black, but the hands are painted on. But you will kind of see the original colors kind of poking through. So not really good. So if you look at the feet as well, you will also see that there are nub marks. But anyways, that's what happens when you kind of paint it and the quality doesn't really match up to expectations. So not much of a deal breaker, but if you're kind of a stickler for that, I guess it's definitely kind of a minus. So there you go. So for accessories, of course, you do have your action base, Kamen Rider Revi Volcano Genome. So yes, you do have two sets of hands. Now, you also have an Owen Buster 50. So this Owen Buster 50 kind of threw me off as well. It's weirded me out. So this is the gun mode, so I understand if the axe blade is not included, so you're not really gonna need that if you're using this in gun mode. So you can see here, so there's a sticker for, actually it's the Volcano Genome stamp. So yeah, you have two Volcano Genome stamps here actually. And this kind of reminds me of Kamen Rider claws from Kamen Rider build. So I have the claws magma. So if you uh, get that Sodo figure, or if you've seen that Sodo figure, there's the claws magma knuckle right on the build driver, and then he also has a claws magma knuckle that you can equip on his hand. So you do have this awkward situation that you do have like two of those accessories. So yeah, I mean it's not much of a big problem for me, but it does feel a bit awkward. Now another thing, speaking of awkward, so the plastic that was used for this Owen Buster 50 is black, which is weird because previous iterations of this uh, actually were in the same color as the belt. It had this violet, it used a violet plastic. So I don't mind putting on stickers, you know, I don't mind the stickers here, so it does look more natural, and you even have this vice face, or the face on the stamp. That's fine with me. But again, Bandai, you could have just used purple plastic in the same shade as Revi here. So that's another thing that kinda looks awkward. But nonetheless, you know, overall it's still functional, so you can of course put it in the hands like so. Now you notice that I already uh, used the open hand like this, so that you can actually two-hand this Owen Buster like that. However, so this is actually mounted on the right hand, so whenever I do this, so the back side, or what's supposed to be the back side, pops up, and you get this awkward cavity in there. So I guess I do recommend that if you want to avoid this situation, just stick the Owen Buster into the left hand instead. But again, I just do it because I typically place weapons on the right hands anyway. So there you go. So overall, Kamen Rider Revi, Volcano Genome. So what do I think of it? It's fine in general. Well, I guess the only thing that really had an issue with was, again, these leg stickers, which were my mistake, to be completely honest. So that's on me. But overall, still, like, if I got this correctly, it would still have been a fine finish. So, although I do wish that, again, so for the Owen Buster, maybe to make it a bit more natural, maybe Bandai shouldn't have put this, stamp, or uh, maybe paint, or just use the same kind of purple plastic used to make the entire body. So yeah, uh, but again, the articulation is great. Maybe the only loose parts are on the shoulder armors, but the rest of the joints are tight enough, so you can be assured of that. So the joints are nice and tight enough, so which is good. I do like it when the joints are quite tight. So I'm going to give Kamen Rider Revi Volcano Genome, well, a 4 out of 5. It's decent, it's good, but again, there are some issues. Not really big in my opinion, but I mean, those are places that could have done better. But this is Sodo, so really you shouldn't expect much of a quality figure. Although, if you really want like the best possible quality, then you might have to wait for an SHF. But this is the cheapest version that you can get for the basically any of the figures that came out so far in this lineup. So if you can't wait for SHF, then this is the thing for you. And also, if you're budget conscious like me, then yeah, it's better to just get a Sodo. They're still fine, really. The quality is okay in general, and uh, still kind of worth it. So yeah, that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. So please do leave a like, comment, share this video, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Bye-byes.